won't be able to pull that off, according to a new CNN poll.
Ben, I got to be quick with you, but final thoughts.
Sure.
The January 6 hearings may be taking a break, but revelations about Donald Trump's complicity in
the House January 6 committee is getting ready for prime time,
including the actions that took place on the day of January 6th.
New developments today in the Justice Department's January.
Just everything's rising. When I first got my car, it's a 2016, it was $25 to fill up. Now it's probably close to 60, 70.
I always say to people, I only work half days. Half day to me is 12 hours.
We know what inflation is. We've lived it. We're the ones who suffer through it. This is so they can cut programs, they can raise up unemployment, and lay people off and don't pay them a living wage. We know their little game.
I had to count change the other day to put gas in my car to get my daughter to where she needed to go. Like, yeah, it's a struggle, it's a scrape.
Are we in a recession, and does the term matter?
No, we aren't, and no, it doesn't. I mean,
one sentence, that was it, huh?
Yeah, that was it. It's none of the usual criteria that real experts use says that we're in a recession right now. And what does matter? The state of the economy is what it is.
Show me where the economy is coming back, and I'll show you a population in the homeless camps that will astound you. It's sickening. There's more people coming every day.
This is the residents we're camping out, because this could be us in 2 months if we don't find housing. We could be homeless.
I mean, I don't mind starting all over, but where do you go from here? Because everywhere we go is where they want to build again, and then we got to move again. Build again, and we got to move again.
Homelessness in Philly it's ridiculous. We're looking at there being enough empty houses in Philly to house every homeless person that's here, and still have houses left over to fix up and rent or sell at market rate.
You can't afford gas to protest, and people have to work. They can't take time off of work to go and organize that way.
I'm stressed about I have to make sure we have enough money and make sure I can get gas in the car, I have food and everything.
Mode.
Yeah, you're just constantly in survivor mode where it's can't think about doing anything else.
Right. You can see it was a rip-roaring 2021. The U.S. economy last year, the strongest since the Reagan administration.
If you look at our job market, consumer spending, business investment, we see signs of economic progress.
I mean, if my next 3 or 4 quarters, essentially a year, aren't good, I'm gonna have to sell. You know, I'm literally gonna have to sell a business that I've worked and killed myself 15 years for, which, was never an option for me. It's never an option.
No, there's... Oh my God, having a family or having a kid right now seems like it...
Impossible.
No, I just can't imagine it happening.
Yeah.
Not in my lifetime getting pregnant.
And the child tax credit, those few months you gave that and everything, all that's done been gone. And what did we do with it? We've spent it. We put it right back in the economy, and the filthy rich got every bit of it right back.
I work for state government, and a lot of state workers work more than one job because they don't make enough on the one job, which is not full-time. Working for state government, they don't make enough money, so they have to pick up another job in order to feed their families.
Are on Medicaid. A number of them qualified because they make such poor salaries.
My first year, I could tell you the name of pretty well everybody that was houseless in Morgantown, and there's no hope of doing that now. There's new faces every day, it seems like, and not just one or two, crowds.
You can't be in a recession when you've got 300,000 plus jobs being created a month and unemployment at 3.6% and spending where it is. So not in recession yet.
I struggle every day, and I have to fake it because you don't want your children to see you struggling. Right. I grew up struggling. I grew up in this area watching my mom struggle with addiction and not having a job, and I had to grow up fast for my age to provide for my siblings. And it's a shame that I'm still doing it 10, 15 years later.
You hear all these people talking about how they're pro-life, right? Homelessness is one of the leading killers of people in this country.
So what you're seeing right now is police, for some reason, entering this camp. The couple houseless people are
sleeping, relaxing. What is your best guess why the police are here at the moment?
My best guess would be probably some bullshit drug charge. I mean, they're also usually coming in to sweep people looking for warrants and then snatched away about 14 people, took them to jail. Many of them were out a couple days later and they just came right back here. Like, what was the point?
And now it seems like Akron is hunting its own homeless. It doesn't matter where we go. If we put up a tent, they're there tearing it down. The little bit of personal belongings and memories that we had, Akron has bulldozed over.
And they try to split us. They try to us and them, you know, and it's not a us and them. Republicans, Democrats, we're all out here. We're all working 2 jobs, and now the price of everything is even, we wasn't making it working 2 jobs. What are we supposed to do?
The confluence of a bunch of unusual events at the same time is a different mix. An unknown period during the pandemic, and there were people that needed help. There were people that needed support. Unfortunately, we're not really great at directing in a very specific way to people that need help. We wind up kind of directing it very broadly.
You would have gone smaller, done it differently.
I would have gone smaller.
You know, apparently we're all on opioids too. You know, because that's the reason we can't give out a child tax credit. But I think it was like 100,000 children were benefiting from that.
Right.
We keep getting this lip service and we're not getting anything. And at what point are we going to get fed up? I mean, with both parties. I mean, and that's what's happening.
Yeah.
People are getting fed up with both parties.
Nobody could have foresaw the pandemic coming. Everybody saves for a rainy day. He's got a little nest egg saved up. That was going in 6 months, man. That was going in 6 months.
Housing is like the elephant in the room that is not getting the attention that it needs because it's the underlying factor for everything. If you're not housed, you can't do shit with your life.
Minimum wage in Philadelphia is a little over $8. Might be right around $8 an hour.
Right.
You know, like, there's no way for you to live on that.
They're not raising the minimum wage. You know,
What's the minimum wage here?
I believe it's $8.10.
But we've watched our rates increase by pennies over the past few years. You know, my rent is going up. They're increasing the rent in my 1-bedroom from $1,550, including parking and utilities, to $1,900, not including parking or utilities.
Fell in, tubs fell through the ceiling, out the bathroom, maggots forming in their utility rooms and termites.
Look at what they're voting. Look at their policies. Look at what they've done. Quit voting for a name. Quit voting for the same old because you don't want to think or look at what's happening.
This new GDP report is a bad sign, but it's not definitive, as the White House is pointing out, as Janet Yellen pointed out on Sunday on Meet the Press. The jobs numbers are great.
Exactly. All these voters and the Democrats and Republicans, it's just what, red team versus blue team? It's all the same team. It's just bread and circuses, and I'm hoping people will start to see. I'm sure they are. I mean, nothing has changed really with Biden versus Trump.
It got worse in a lot of ways.
It got worse, and I'm seeing all these fucking stickers, you know, the I did this Biden pointing at the gas prices. It's like, they all did this. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
A statement of defiance needs to be had for those that are being displaced and put out in these streets. I'm addressing y'all directly right now. Stand up, because if you don't, you lose. We lose as a people if you do nothing. So standing up is vitally important.
All we have got is you and ourselves to get out here, and we've got to go protest. That's all we've got. We don't have the money for that kind of media, for that kind of outreach. That's the reason it's going to take all of us joining our resources and our voices together.
I think we need to tell these stories, cover things, not when they're breaking, like breaking news, but when they're breaking, like shit's breaking. Society is breaking. The culture is breaking.